So waren damals die warmen, hellen Tage der Unschuld, als Delano begann, eine aufstrebende Stadt zu werden. Niemand konnte ahnen, dass der Albtraum schon angefangen hatte. Ich bin Hugh Holmes. Manchmal habe ich das Gefühl, ich betrachte Delano als meine Stadt. Es war zu dieser Zeit gerade dringend nötig, ein neues Gefängnis und eine Polizeistation zu bauen. Also berief ich den Stadtrat ein, um unseren ersten Polizeichief zu wählen.
Wir tun das Richtige, Wilhelm. Ich weiß es. Daddy, was ist eigentlich ein Polizeichief?
Ja, Louise, das weiß ich auch nicht so genau. Aber ich hoffe, dass ich es rausfinde, wenn ich mich wie einer benehmen muss.
Ich habe Hugh Holmes geraten, Sie nicht zum Chief zu machen. Sie haben es nicht in sich, hart genug zu sein.
Guten Morgen, Mr. Vanderburg.
Ich weiß jetzt schon, dass Sie diesen Job nicht lange machen. Das können Sie auffassen, wie Sie wollen.
Kommen Sie schnell, Sir. Da ist ein toter Mann, oben bei Horus Bluff.
Der berühmte Doktor aus der Hauptstadt hat gesagt, der Bursche hat sich das Genick gebrochen, als er vor einem Sexbesessenen auf der Flucht war, vor einem Perversen. Sieh dir das an. Siehst du das? Dieser Junge ist tot. Willst du auch von einem Totengräber verscharrt werden? Und deine Leute wissen nicht mal, wo du bist?
Nein, Sir.
Vielleicht haben Skeeter Willis und Foxy recht. Vielleicht bin ich wirklich nicht für diesen Job geschaffen.
Hey, wir waren beide der Ansicht, dass es das Beste ist. Schon vergessen?
Jemand hat per Post ein paar Handschellen bei uns bestellt. Hat aber nur eine Postfachnummer angegeben, Fach 82.
Können Sie mir sagen, wem das Postfach 82 gehört?
Selbstverständlich. Foxy Vanderburg.
Hey, Joshua!
Mr. Will Henry, Jesse ist schwer krank. Ich habe den Jungen zu Hause behalten, damit er mir hilft.
Tut mir leid, das wusste ich nicht.
Was will Mr. Horst denn hier? Dazu hat er kein Recht. Er soll uns in Ruhe lassen.
Du hast Mr. Will Henry erschossen.
Oh nein, du musst weglaufen. Die hängen Niggerjungs für nichts auf. Geh, bevor sie dich holen kommen. Viel Glück, mein Junge.
Delano had taken root and grown. We weren't old enough to be in any history books, but we already had a second generation that could call the place home. I suppose they must have had a parade in every town in America in the summer of 1945, welcoming our servicemen home from the Second World War. A lot of towns might have had bigger parades and better bands than Delano, but we did our best. I was still chairman of the city council, a member of the state senate, and more recently the state board of education. I've been making speeches to 2 generations by then. I tried not to abuse the privilege. Foxy Vanderburg seemed to look forward to parades. It gave him a chance to wear the old uniform he'd been saving from the Moors since World War I. Sonny Butts wore his uniform as though he'd been born in it. Most folks had forgotten his father, brutal, drunken man, dead in a farm accident years before. But for his mother, this was the high point of her hard life, to see her son honored by the town. Sheriff Skeeter Willis was still the law in Bainbridge County. Times were changing, but voting for Skeeter seemed a hard habit to break. A war had given some of our young Negroes a chance to better themselves. Marshal Peters, for instance, had learned a trade in the Army. He and his wife Annie looked forward to a business of their own. Carrie Lee had fought back as best she could after Will Henry's death. She knew tears couldn't raise two children and put them through college. So she opened her own store, which by then was selling the most fashionable ladies' wear anywhere this side of Atlanta. Her son, Billy Lee, was working for a big city law firm when he left to join the Air Force. He got to be a lieutenant colonel flying airplanes. He didn't have any better plans for his future. I did. Will Henry would have been proud of his daughter, too. Allie had lost her new husband in the war. She grieved for a while, but there's a lot of her mother in her. They became partners in the shop. But it was the new member of the Lee family I was anxious to see. I'd heard Billy brought back a beautiful English-Irish war bride. Talk to you about that campaign letter.
Oh, I knew you'd change it, so I didn't even type it.
You raised a couple of smart ones, Gary.
Mr. Hugh!
Billy, I had to be in Washington when you got back here.
Oh, I'm happy to see you again.
It's good to have you home, Billy.
Thank you, sir.
Let me get a proper look at you.
Oh, Trish, I'd like to...
Wait just a minute. You let me get this right. You are Patricia Worth Newnham Lee.
And you're Hugh Holmes.
I knew it. They've been talking about the both of us. Welcome to Delano. You tell me the truth now. How'd this rascal lure you to this far place?
False pretenses. He told my father he was going to be president of the United States.
Well, I had to think of something. All the rest of us suitors had promised her a farm.
Yeah, he promised me a bicycle once to help him through algebra. Asked me if I ever got that bicycle.
Oh, my, one of the nice things about courting in a foreign country is the absence of baby sisters.
Now that I've seen the countryside around here, I think I'll hold out for a farm after all.
Well, this is a land of unexpected opportunities. Well, Colonel, shall we assemble the troops?
Yes, sir.
It's hard to find something meaningful to say to you young men who have seen the realities of war on battlefields all around the world. But I want to say, as much as we rejoice upon your return, we can never forget the unpayable debt we all owe to the young men who've fallen fighting for us, who will never come home. To you who have come back, I say welcome home, all of you. We've tried to keep Delano a decent town, a town you'd be proud to come home to, as a small but tangible way of saying thank you. The city council's voted to offer the first openings on city jobs to returning veterans. As a first step in that direction, the council just this morning appointed the state's most decorated soldier, First Sergeant Sonny Butts, to the vacancy on the Delano Police Force.
Stand up and salute. Stop those.
Now, Colonel Lee, would you do us the honor of dismissing these gentlemen so they can find out what a Delano welcome's really like?
Attention! Dismiss!
Hey, Marshal! Hey, Billy! I mean, Colonel. Good to see you. I just heard you awarded the Bronze Star in Italy. Is that right? Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
We got a good man here, Annie.
Yes, sir. That's a fact.
There you are, Colonel. I just had what seems to me a first-class idea. Why don't we have Sergeant Peters here? Marshal, why don't we have him assemble the troops this time, and you give the speech?
Oh, well, I don't know. No. I'm sure the men would like that, Mr. Billy. All right. I think I'd like to do that, Marshal. Trish, Mama, Ellie, y'all go on along. We'll join you later. Let's go.
You look real pretty, Annie. Oh, thank you, Miss Harry. Don't like to sound like a tourist in my new home, but do they always have separate ceremonies like this?
That is a good question, Trish, but 20 years ago, there wouldn't even have been a second ceremony.
Sheriff Skeeter Willis seemed to approve of Sonny's appointment to the police department. He never thought much of Officer Charlie Ward there.
Right. And, Sonny, do you know Chief Thomas?
Ward of our aging police chief, Melvin Thomas.
Yeah, I'll see you later, Chief. Well, Sonny, I think you got what it takes. I think you and me gonna hit it off first rate, Sarge. You can bet on that, Skeeter.
I wish your daddy was allowed to see you today.
You do? I'd probably have to arrest him for drunk and disorderly. At least he's spared as that, Mama.
I got your room all fixed up for you. And I'm making chicken tonight, special.
Not tonight, Mama, huh? I got some relaxing to do. It's been a long time.
Sure, Sonny, whatever you say.
Well, I think I see some wild oats sprouting. Why don't you let me drive you home, Miss Butch? It'd be a pleasure.
Oh, no. Thank you. Take care now.
Sonny, it's gonna be great having you on the force. Believe you me, we're gonna snatch some folks' heads sideways around this town.
Just don't you ever grab a hold of me, Charlie. We get along just fine.
Sure, Sonny. Sure. Sergeant? Congratulations.
Thank you. General?
Done a fine job for your country, Sergeant. I understand you were considered for the Medal of Honor.
Politics.
Yeah. Well, I want you to know that my experience is always available to you. If you ever need any help, just ask.
I'll do that.
Yeah, fooled.
I'll be damned. Oh, Foxy Thunderbird.
Yeah, he's a little long.
We're going visiting later. I should freshen up now. If you start to look any fresher, I couldn't stand it. Well, thank you. Trish? Yes? Have you been listening to us? We're being so nice to each other, it hurts. I don't think we should have any unspoken feelings. Now, I lost a husband in the war, and Billy gained a wife. Now, if we go and tiptoe around that for the next 20 years, we're going to miss out on being, well, sisters. I always wanted a sister. So have I. Would you do me a favor? Absolutely. I haven't told Billy yet. I can't cook for topping. Would you teach me on the fly? He's bound to get hungry one of these days. Oh, he'll eat anything with grit. Grit? What's grit?
You know, a lot of the colored in town still remember it was a colored man killed your daddy.
Then they probably also remember he was executed for it.
They were listening to every word you said today. I watched them. Good reaction.
I wasn't aware I was making a political speech.
Oh, when you get right down to it, every speech is political. You got all the qualifications. Returning veteran, combat decorated officer, farmer, lawyer with an English war bride to boot for international flavor.
Wait a minute. You said farmer somewhere in that list of credentials.
Well, it might be arranged if you're not dead set and going back with that bunch of big city lawyers you were working for.
can't quite imagine myself sitting back, making out wills, watching my name creep slowly up in a long list of junior partners on that law firm stationery. I don't want to just watch things happen anymore. I want to make them happen. Is that another political speech?
It'll do. It'll do nicely. You might do well to jot it down. You know, I'm slowing up some, but I still like to make things happen. Very satisfying. I think I might drop out of the state senate this next time around. I've just been waiting for the right man to come along to take my place. Good stepping stone.
I've had a lovely day, Billy, absolutely lovely. I've really taken to your mother, and Eloise and I are already sharing secrets.
Well, here's another secret you can share with her. I've had a rather lovely day myself. I've just been made state senator.
I thought you had elections over here.
Oh, we do, and you're still going to have to meet every storekeeper and dirt farmer in the whole Tri-County area before then, but in this particular district, one vote elects, and I just got that one vote.
You hope.
That's right. And for your benefit, he also said he might have some nice farmland for us to look at.
Oh!
Well, we're on our way, my love, and nothing's going to stop us. I mean, absolutely nothing's going to stop us.
So nothing's going to stop us now, eh? Absolutely nothing.
Just about any which way we want to, Sonny. I ain't kidding. I mean, old Chief Thomas, he's got a bad ticker, you know. He tries not to let on. But he goes home every day for a 2-hour nap and a lunch, so he won't keel over. As long as we write up enough tickets, keeping niggers quiet and breakdown, just like we was our own boss. Right like that.
I lost that. Just 5. The blonde, yellow dress. What's her name?
Her name's Charlene. She's from LaGrange. I wouldn't mess with her, though, Sonny. That sailor she's with, she's got a pretty mean reputation around here.
There ain't room but for one mean reputation around here. Me and Charlene's gonna get acquainted. Get lost, Dick. Oh, you just made a big mistake, Swabby. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah. You want to dance or what?
Does Mickey Shelton know you planning on opening a repair garage, Marshal?
Didn't think I had to notify him, sir.
That's where you learned auto mechanics, isn't it, Mickey Shelton?
No, sir. I never did much but grease jobs and oil changes for Mickey Shelton. It was in the Army where I really learned my trade. They used to call me Dr. Peter. I can get any old half-dead truck back in action.
Dr. Peters, huh? Well.
Hey, I can fix anything that moves on a car truck.
How about you, Annie? You willing to wash all those greasy rags and keep the books to see he makes a go of it?
Yes, sir. I know he can do it.
You're a good man, Marshal. I'd like to help. The bank will loan you $1,000 for your down payment on this house and barn.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You come see me tomorrow. Got another stop to make. I might not get back to the bank this afternoon.
First thing, sir, Mr. Holmes.
By the way, you can start your practice, Dr. Peters, by checking out my steering. It pulls to the left.
Yes, sir. Could be the lineman. You just bring it in any time, and I'll fix it for you.
See you tomorrow morning.
Thank you, sir.
Woo! Got to be careful, Marshal. You don't go stealing Mickey Shelton's customers. He's Klan, you know.
So?
Nothing's changed around here as far as the Klan's concerned.
Klan is just a bunch of walking laundry as far as I'm concerned. Marshal Peters. Auto repair. All mixed.
Maybe you should take it to someone who's more familiar with the workings under the bonnet.
A bonnet is a hat. This is a hood.
A hood is a Chicago gangster. The bonnet is the cover that goes over the engine.
Morning, y'all.
Morning.
What's going on?
I'm giving him an English lesson.
I won't shake your hand.
I appreciate that.
He's repairing the car, only the car doesn't know it.
That's so. I wouldn't want Carrie to know I brought this up, but she just about reached the end of her patience with the two of you still living with her. I'd like to talk to you all about it.
You found us a place?
A little farm I ran out to. Thought we might take a look at it if you're not too busy.
Are we too busy? We're not too busy.
We'll take my car. By the way, I know just the man to fix that car. I just come from putting Marshal Peters in business.
Is there anything you can't arrange, Mr. Hughes?
I don't know, Billy. There just might be. Times are changing. In his first 3 months on the job, Sonny Butts set some kind of record for handing out traffic citations. Sonny also talked Chief Thomas into buying a motorcycle for police work. He claimed it had something to do with economy. Actually, I think it had more to do with visibility. Sonny liked to be seen riding through town, uniform, gun and all. I had no real objection to that, but something about it bothered me.
I was born not 50 yards from where you're standing.
I know. You grew cotton and you had a horse called Apple.
Apple. Horace Spencer always wanted to buy this place, but I never would sell it to him. Never thought he belonged here, somehow. There's still 641 acres.
Well, I guess that would qualify me as a farmer with the voters.
Certainly qualify you as me.
Mr. Hill?
We can afford it. Well, Delano's newest attorney at law with both the bank and the mill as your first clients. I believe we can come to terms. There's just one stipulation. I'd like to make you a gift.
The brick for your new house. As a wedding present. Thought about it a long time. I want to give you something that's going to last.
Sonny took to riding that motorcycle more and more, hunting expeditions for speeders. One day, he decided to try his luck up on the road from Pine Mountain.
I'll be damned. Wonder if the old boy's starting his own police force.
Hope you're not cutting these speeding tickets too thin, Sonny. Don't want us getting the reputation of a speed trap, you know. Well, I reckon I'll head on home for lunch, Sonny. You hold the fort, huh? All right. Oh, Chief. I've been meaning to ask you about that old roll-top desk back there. Look, if you can use it, it's all yours.
That old roll-top desk I gave Chief Will Henry Lee years before hadn't been used since. Just gathering dust. If it had been sold at the church auction like Chief Thomas planned, some charitable soul would have gotten a shot. There, in Chief Lee's old black notebook, photos taken in the Maddox mortuary with all the details of that unsolved murder more than 20 years back. Those lurid notes about torture, death, seem to fascinate Sonny.
Sonny? You wouldn't believe. Caught old Pieback begging for money in the middle of Main Street. So drunk he can't even stand up. Oh, he can stand up. Look at him. You ever seen a nigger stand up that straight? Hey, 2, 3, 4. Hey, 2, 3, 4. Hey, 2, 3, 4. Whoa! Patty! 2, 3, 4. Hey, 2.
Billy and Patricia Lee lost no time getting their new home started. Billy was so busy with his new law practice and making plans for a political campaign, he left most of the supervising to her. I had a feeling the house would be the better for that.
Afternoon, Colonel. Miss Lee, Sonny. Fella just delivered a new car. I thought he might get lost coming out here, so I offered to drive it out and bring you the keys and the papers. He said you can just mail that paper there back to him.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Don't mention it. I hear you want to sell the convertible here.
Not so much wanting to as needing to.
Mind if I take a look-see?
No, go ahead. Yeah, engine's been completely overhauled.
Looks like something right out of the factory. Who did the work on it, Mickey Shelton?
No, Marshall Peters.
I've never seen a nigger yet could fix more than a wheelbarrow.
Well, I don't suppose a lot of them ever had much more than a wheelbarrow to work on. Marshall learned auto mechanics in the Army. He's first rate.
Eleanor Roosevelt niggers. We got along just fine without them, Colonel. How much you asking for?
Well, you know, I'll tell you, Sonny. This car's got a lot of sentimental value to us.
Oh, I understand that. That part of her you can keep. You tell me a fair price for the rest of her, and I'll rush out a check right now. Hey, boy! Peters, you got a customer here. Whose car you tearing up here?
Minnie's transmission job.
Well, I just bought Colonel Lee's new convertible out there. Got a shimmy in her.
And the real cops to do that sometimes at high speed.
Yeah, well, you just go balance her up. I ain't got much time.
I'd like to help you, Mr. Bucks, but I promised Smitty this transmission job by this evening.
Well, you just call Smitty. You tell him you got to work on Officer Butt's car. He can come back tomorrow.
Sorry, but I won't have a phone until next week. Besides, Smitty's mama is real sick. He got to go up to the Capitol and pick her up tonight. Now, if you bring it in tomorrow, it won't hurt to drive until the end.
That's about what I figured. Should have known better to think a nigger could fix it. Wasting my time. Hell, boy. You're going to be back at Mrs. Shelton's in a month anyway. Sweeping floors, fixing flats.
You talk to Colored better than you talk to him.
That is that.
A political meeting of sorts was held one night in a hillside on Pine Mountain. The Klan initiated Sonny Butts as a member. Tommy Allen was a senior statesman in the Klan. By that time, he turned over the reins to Emmett Spence, who'd grown into the image of his daddy horse, every inch his name. This small group served as a sort of political action committee for the Klan. Their action, as usual, had a single focus.
It's time we did something about our nigger soldier boy.
That's right. And I say we start with Mr. Marshall Peters.
Mickey's right. Marshall Peters is a leader in Braytown. He's getting them all stirred up. Registering to vote. Okay, let's burn them out. Burn them out. That's all we got to do.
No, there's going to be no burning or horse whipping. We'll just bring the whole town down around us.
Yeah, Tommy's right. We got to do this legal. For instance, I find some way to get Marshall Peters in jail. And once I get him in jail, I guarantee you, he won't be a problem to nobody no more.
Dear Chief Lee, as per your request regarding the deceased young boy Frank Collins, who I embalmed yesterday, as described to you earlier, in addition to the bullet wound from a heavy firearm.
Contents of Chief Lee's old roll-top desk continued to fascinate Sonny Butts, especially the notes and papers referring to the unsolved murders of several young boys.
FF ordered handcuffs. T.T. Brown, police supply.
like the one you left in the basket for Billy and me. Remember, Mr. Thunderbird?
Yes, I recall that very well. I do recall that.
Oh, I forgot the puppy food. You startled me.
I'm real sorry about that, ma'am. Let me get that for you.
I've got it, thanks.
Just trying to be of service. That's what your police force is for.
I commend you, Officer Butts.
Hey, Sonny. Maybe there's some other way I can be of service. I mean, a widow needs service now and then.
What can I do for you, Officer Butts?
That's what I was just about to ask you.
Ask me? Ask me what?
Nice place you got here. Real nice. Tucked way back. Real quiet like. Could raise a lot of hell back here and nobody'd know the difference.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, target practice, things like that. They say you're pretty good with guns.
I'll stay proficient with firearms, yeah.
That's good. Did you ever think of going into police work? I mean, with your experience.
No. Well, one time maybe. Not really.
Yeah. Well, things have changed a lot, I guess. Not like the old days when old Chief Lee first started. You remember him?
Yeah. Well, he was really just a farmer. Ought never to have been chief of police, I always said.
Well, he sure kept some real interesting records.
What's that?
I gotta get back on patrol. I'll drop in again.
Might be a good idea to give me a call first. I get a little busy sometimes. Just give me a call.
I'll do that. I'll give you a call.
I was just opening the garage this morning, and I found the lock broke. When I looked around to see if anything been stole, I come on this.
He called me, and I told him to bring it directly here. You haven't got some friends running shine, have you, Peter?
No, sir. I ain't never been mixed up in that kind of stuff.
Chief, someone's obviously trying to put the frame on Marshall.
I wouldn't go so far as that just yet. I'll have Officer Butts go out and take a look around later.
I'd prefer to have you go out there with us right now, Chief. I want you to impound this as evidence, and then I'd appreciate it if you'd personally investigate the break-in yourself. Make the official report.
Charlie, lock this stuff up in a cell for the time being.
You nervous, Charlie? You look a little nervous. That's evidence. I wouldn't want you to drop that.
Morning, Chief. I'm Marshal Peters' attorney. May I ask you just what the devil you think you're doing here, Sheriff?
Take it easy, Counselor. We got a tip this morning that your client was running white lightning from his garage. I got a warrant here, all legal and proper.
Peters turned into white lightning to me a few minutes ago. That's pretty damn smart of you, Peters. You must have known we had the tip, right?
You can ask me your questions, Butts. Marshal found his place had been broken into. He called me first thing when he discovered the alcohol. Now, could have just hidden the stuff, but called a lawyer and asked for advice, and I gave it to him. If I were your lawyer, I would advise you to try and find out who attempted to frame him. Your search here looks like deliberate vandalism to me.
Come over here a second, Billy. Come on. Come on. I'm not altogether convinced that folks around here is ready to make a state senator out of a nigger lawyer. You ought to think about that a real long time. Your daddy got himself killed trying to be nice to these folks.
My daddy was killed by a man half dead with malaria. Out of his head with fever, protecting his son.
Just trying to be helpful, Colonel.
You want some more? There's more.
No. Plenty.
I made it special. You sure?
It's good. I just don't want any more.
Well, that's all right. You know your limit, I'd say. You look so dashing in your uniform. Miss Carson used that very word. She saw you in town on your motorcycle. Dashing, she said. You know May Carlson.
Mama, I don't know no May Carlson.
Well, anyway, I just wish your daddy was alive to see you in your uniform.
I hope he's steaming in hell.
Sonny, you shouldn't talk that way on a Sunday.
Why not? Sunday's never made no difference to him. Mama, he cheated on you. Beat you up. Beat me up. Sundays included.
Yes, but he was always a good man. Before you were born, if you could have known him then.
Oh, Mama. Just forget it, Mama, okay?
At least your daddy was killed doing a good deed. Helping poor Mr. Meacham with that plowing. Or that big old tractor rolled over on him. Killed him right before your very eyes.
Mama?
I'll never forgive myself for sending you with his lunch that day. Your young eyes to see a thing like that to remember the rest of your days.
Mama, cut it out.
No, it's all right for a son to know. He had a noble character, down deep. He gave it to you, he did. That's what gave you the courage to win all them medals, Sonny. You was born to it, I'd say. You can thank your daddy for that.
That's a lie. That's a damn lie. I've sat and listened to it all my life, and I'm not going to sit and listen to it no more. You want to know what happened that day at the Meacham farm? I'll tell you what happened. When I got there with Daddy's lunch, he was crawling all over that Dempsey widow in the hedgerow.
Damn it! Mama, look at me! I waited. When she left, Daddy come out and sat back against the tractor wheel in the shade and fell asleep drunk. Mama, you listen to me now. I started up that tractor, and I drove it over him. I drove it over him, and I squashed him like the manure maggot he was. That's right. I killed him. Then I got me a log, and I tipped that tractor over on him so he didn't look like an accident. When they got there, it looked like I was trying to get it off of him. So I don't want to hear no more. But how noble and full of charity he was. Ever.
Trish, I am so happy for you. Thought it was about time I made you an aunt.
Of course, I had nothing to do with it.
I still have all the baby things. The next time you come over, we'll go through the act. Hugh, is something the matter?
I just come from the funeral home. Chief Thomas dropped dead in the steps of the Baptist church 2 hours ago.
Oh, no.
Council members have already been phoning each other. I've tried to veto it, but they're bound and determined to make Sonny Butts police chief.
Good Lord.
What the devil are they thinking of? Are they blind? Can't they see what's going on? I have pushed as hard as I can on this. To a lot of folks, the fact that the colored have been complaining about Sonny just means he's doing a good job. Isn't there anything we can do about it?
Yes. The first thing you can do is win the election.
Yeah, Louise is right. We got a primary on our hands. Let's not rock that boat right now.
How about that? Chief, Charlie, we gonna get rid of all his junk. You want me to clear out that old roll top in the back there? No, I'll take care of that. I don't want you messing in that desk. Right, Chief.
Sonny, I'll be going. And I won't tell you, congratulations.
Looking forward to working with you, Skeeter. Looking forward to it.
You bet. Look, I know a lot of do-gooders around here have been bellyaching about certain things. But this says that the council's behind you, and that's good. So you play your cards right, aim where you kick. And you're going to end up with a lot of political clout around here.
All right. Oh, Skeeter, I've been meaning to ask you, what do you know about Foxy Thunderberg?
Foxy? What about Foxy?
I don't know. He's sort of an odd sock. Has he ever been up to anything he shouldn't have been that you know of?
Foxy maybe has a screw loose here or there, but he's harmless. Hell's fire, if he'd have been more sociable going to church around here, he'd end up your first police chief years back.
Is that a fact?
Oh, yeah. Take care of yourself.
You too now.
tonight.
Well, I haven't been where you've been. Must be.
Maybe we ought to do something about that situation.
I wouldn't know what to do about this situation.
I can think of one thing real fast.
You do that. Betty?
What do you want?
Oh, come on now. Big girl like you?
Really now, go away or I'll scream.
No. You don't look like no screamer to me. Looky there. Evening, Peters. Miss Peters?
Evening. What can I do for you?
Well, nothing much. We just got some more word on that moonshine business. And I'd really appreciate it if you'd come on down to the station with us and look at something.
Look at what?
No need to hang you up, Miss Peters. You might as well go along home. You just take a few minutes, Peters, and we can probably clear up this mess for good. You're going home now. We drive him home ourselves.
Yeah. You're going now, yeah. I'll be home soon. Drive careful now, you hear me?
Hold it right there, boy. Get in there. On your knees! On your knees! On your knees! Now move! Move it! Move it! Move it! Come on, you want to Jack? Come on! Move it! was interrogating the prisoner, and he started fighting. And he grabbed a knife. Charlie had to shoot him. He was fighting like crazy. Knife and all. He'd have killed Sonny. Don't think he went crazy on me. Here. Look at what he did.
Get the hell out of here. Wait outside. Did you fight with Sonny Butts or Charlie Ward? The two officers who brought you here, did you hit either one of them? Hands tied. They kept hitting me. Why did they arrest you? What did you do? They just picked me up. Started hitting me. Annie. Where's Annie? I'm going to call a county prosecutor tonight.
Trying to pin this on Sonny Butts in a white community is going to be next to impossible.
I know that.
I expect you do. I hope you also know this could cost you the election.
To hell with the election. I mean it. I don't want it bad enough to shut up and lie down for it.
I think it's time I wrote that editorial. Time the public got a whiff of what goes on in Butts' personal jail.
Annie. Mr. Peters. Marshall was murdered because he was colored. And no matter what happens, I'm going to see to it that Sonny Butts doesn't just walk away from this. He'll pay. I promise you that.
It don't work that way, Mr. Billy. He's gone now. When we's gone, it don't work that way, no how.
Because a rumor is circulating around town concerning a certain incident which took place at the police station Saturday night. Because of the wild nature of said rumors, I want to read a statement describing the events of the night in question. Last Saturday night at approximately 9 o'clock, Officer Ward and I approached Marshall Peters on Elm Street, just off Main Street. We wished to question him informally about events which occurred some weeks ago concerning illegal whiskey at his place of business. Peters became hostile and abusive, and it became necessary for us to subdue him before...
Sonny's report sounded very official. There was no use challenging the chief in this area. He had the station logbook and Sheriff Skeeter Willis to back him up. The council even seemed to relish the way he told his story. I forced myself to be patient. Grand jury hearing was coming up. We'd get to the truth then, no matter what Sonny said.
We already been inside. You write this about Sonny Butts?
I don't know.
Yeah. But you ain't gonna print it. Mr. New Jersey, Ed. You ain't gonna print nothing about this. Or I'll blow your head right off your neck. You hear me? Right now, I want to hear you say it. You ain't printing nothing.
Nothing. Won't print anything.
All right. Now, don't you forget. Or I'll burn this dump with you in it. You stand there and smell this stinking wall, and don't you turn around. I'll blast you where you stand.
Have you talked to Bob Blankenship? I haven't been able to reach him.
The linotype operator at the paper said he had to go off to New Jersey on business.
Tom, I'm going to take your deposition and Annie's over to the county prosecutor.
Would you like me to come with you?
No, darling, I'm doing a Rotary meeting afterwards. I could be very late.
I'll drive you home, Trish.
Thanks, Tom.
Bye, Tom. No, I'm concerned about Bob Blankenship disappearing like this. He was going to print an editorial on this whole thing. Now he runs off on a mysterious trip to New Jersey. I hope the Klan isn't getting into this.
Hello? Hello?
I don't want anybody to get hurt.
Who is this?
They're going to come out there tonight, Ms. Lee. They're going to burn you out. I don't want nobody to get hurt. You better get away from there tonight. You hear?
Burn us out? Who's going to burn us out? Who is this? Well, it's no Purdy, Mr. McGibbon, but it'll do.
Purdy, eh? You know your shotguns, Miss Lee.
I've shot more birds than you've got whiskers. Better have a box of number 9 bird shot and some 00 buckshot. Who called? Could you tell? No. Just apparently some woman who's not really wild about her husband's club affiliation.
Double lot buckshot. You must have some mighty big birds out there in the place.
White-sheeted yellow bellies.
You don't mean to say.
I got these. Thank you, Mr. McGibbon. Will you put it on the bill, please?
Sure enough. You take care now. Well, I'll be.
I wish Billy could see us now. He's probably in the middle of his speech at the Rotary Club. Gentlemen, I'd like you to meet my wife and my sister. My wife is the one with the shotgun.
Maybe their sheets didn't come back from the laundry on time.
It's hard to believe that anyone would do a thing like this.
I know. Feelings run deep around here, Trish. Now they can see that Billy is set on dragging those feelings into court.
Listen, Ellie, you don't have to wait here. Why don't you take the station wagon? I can pick it up tomorrow. Billy will be home soon.
Wild horses couldn't drag me away from here. Listen. enough to get a good look at who they are. I don't have to see him. That's Emmett Spence.
Billy! Come on, say, Billy, you coming out? Or do we burn you out?
Don't you ever mess with my sister!
Where you headed? South. Throw your bag in the back. Hop in.
Trish and Billy Lee gave me a personal tour of their new home. Mighty handsome place. But my pleasure was dulled a bit when I realized the grand jury hearing that was coming on us could jeopardize all Billy's hopes for the future.
You're afraid that Trish's double-barreled support may be offset by the grand jury hearing?
Touchy business, Billy. You're poking around in people's feelings, things nobody's even thought about for generations.
Maybe it's time we got him out in the open. You know, this isn't a matter of race, Mr. Hugh. It's a simple case of right and wrong.
You know this whole grand jury hearing could backfire right in our faces, don't you? Skeeter Willis is back in Sonny Butts all the way. I just heard that Emmett's daddy, Hoss Spence, is on the jury.
Good. Let them draw the lines. At least people are going to see which side of that line I stand on. I'm not going to turn my back on murder. You know, sooner or later, enough people are going to take their conscience into the voting booth with them. If this is the year, I'll win. And if it isn't, I'll still be right.
That's fine, Billy. I'll walk with you. What was it old Tom Paine said? These are the times that try men's souls. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will, in this crisis, flinch from service. Hope you realize your biggest crisis is tomorrow night at the Tri-Counties Fair.
Oh, right, the pie judging. Oh, I better not forget my bicarbonate.
I have seen elections won and lost on the basis of how the candidate judged the pie contest. Billy, you should never have gotten yourself into such a thankless position.
The hand that rolls the pie crust rules the world.
time, Sonny Butts showed up at the fair looking for a way to forget his problems with that grand jury. By the time he got there, I expect he'd already tried to drown his troubles in a pint of moonshine. That's dangerous fuel.
Well, this is tough. Really tough. The peach is absolutely outstanding. Not only that, but I understand it was baked by the secretary of the Women's Democratic Committee. But in spite of that, I'm going to risk my entire future and pick the sweet potato.
Just a minute. Wait a minute. I want you to know that my husband only has one vote in our house, and I would like to ask our runner-up for the recipe for the peach.
I'll tell you one thing. I don't know if Billy can ever be elected governor or not, but she surely can.
Leave me alone, you're drunk.
That's right. Give us some action here.
Stop it! Get away from me!
Resist arrest.
Butts. Listen to me. Get out of here, go home, and you stay there. You're all finished now. You hear me, Butts? Now clear on out of here. Right now.
Now it's all over. Go on, clear out. This is nothing to see. Go on. get a doctor for him. Then I want to talk to your carnival manager about pressing charges, okay?
Billy. Telephone the commander of the state police. I want them in town tonight. There's no telling what that crazy fool might try next.
Sonny Butts was nothing else. He was a fighter. He must have stayed awake most of the night concocting some story to explain his behavior at the fairgrounds. But he surely wasn't prepared to find a state patrol car parked in his place at the police station the next morning.
Charlie! Officer Ward won't be in this morning. I'm Dave Barker from Headquarters Post. I'll be taking his place today. Who says? Well, I think it was an order from the governor's office, Chief. By the way, Mr. Hugh Holmes called. He says you're to be at City Hall at 12:30 sharp. He wants you to wait in the city manager's office till he's ready for you.
At the same time, the grand jury hearing was going on in the Greenville courthouse on Marshal Peters' death. Skeeter was there only as an observer.
Marshal Peters on the night in question, just before 9 o'clock.
Horace Spence was a member of the grand jury. He had a real influence in the outcome.
Yes, sir. He got the Bronze Star in Italy.
What was his business since returning home from the war?
He owned a garage. I mean, we was buying it. He was an automobile mechanic.
Now, Ms. Peters, I want you to tell us exactly what Chief Butts said when he approached you and your husband at your car.
Well, he come up to us all friendly-like. Then he started talking again about that moonshine business they cooked up about Marshall.
Ms. Lee, you saw Marshal Peters on the night in question, just before 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir. Marshall and Annie were in my shop. We're open late on Saturdays. Marshall wanted to buy Annie a dress.
Did you detect the odor of alcohol on Marshal Peters at any time?
No, sir, I did not. None whatsoever.
Chief. Chief. Capitol Police on your line. Some guy in missing persons wants to talk to you.
Yeah. You called us a while back about missing persons, remember?
Yeah.
We get hundreds of them here, but I thought this one might be in your neck of the woods.
This kid's folks think he might be headed for Florida.
If he was hitchhiking to Florida, he'd have to take Highway 41.
Yeah, probably.
There's no other road. That'd bring him right to you. You'll probably be getting a bulletin on this, but I thought I'd phone you his description just in case.
Yeah, go ahead. Harvey Charles Mix, age 16.
35. Reddish blonde hair, green eyes. You got that?
Yeah. Much obliged. Yeah. I got it all. You better believe it.
Trooper! Stand up when your commanding officer's talking to you. You stand up! You call His Majesty Hugh Holmes. You call him and you tell him to get ready. You tell him to get the parade ready. I want a band waiting out there in front of City Hall. The parade will go right down Main Street. You got that? Right. You tell him that's an order from Chief Butts.
Sonny Butts rode down Main Street that morning as if he was riding in a parade, leading a parade. Must have felt he was only a little way from victory. I expect it's possible Sonny'd somehow lucked onto an answer to those unsolved murders from 20 years back. A stroke of luck that would have put him beyond the reach of anything I, the city council, or any grand jury could do about it.
Hi, back. You were an inmate in the Delano jail on the night in question?
Yeah, I used in there Saturday nights.
Tell us exactly what you saw and heard, Pieback.
Well, it's just like Sheriff Skeeter's there and Chief Butts say. Marshal was yelling, fighting, just like they say.
Hey there, Foxy. What you planting there? You just hold it. Right there, Foxy, baby. I told you I'd drop it on you again. Let's see what you're planting here. I'll be damned. How many more of these young fellas you got planted around here, Fox? Huh? You always said you wanted to help. Well, let me tell you something, Foxy, baby. You and that shovel just dug me out of a hole deeper than this one. You just saved my neck, old buddy. Yes, sir. I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't just win me the Nobel Prize.
that poor old colored man lie like that?
I suppose old Pieback is such a fixture in that jail after all these years. He probably figures anything Skeeter Willis tells him to say is gospel. Oh, it's ironic. I guess Sonny Butts miscalculated the skill of his friend the sheriff, taking off like that before the council even had a chance to fire him.
Do you think he'll come back now that the grand jury cleared him?
I don't know. State Patrol went to his room. He didn't even take his clothes. They'd find him, about all we could charge him with is stealing a city motorcycle. I had to say goodbye to my old horse right here, a long time ago. Dapple. Saddest day of my life. Feeding her a carrot.
Well, we should have this fence repaired, or we'll be saying goodbye to the next horse we get, too.
Polls close in half an hour. We better get ready for a house full of people pretty quick.
I rather prefer it empty.
All right. Not all the news is good. Sheriff Skeeter Willis has been reelected. As for the state senate seat, formerly held by a humble servant, I regret to say that final returns from the Tri-County area show that you were all in for a sorry political experience. You're all just going to have to grin and bear it. Stand here like good soldiers while we listen to all the boring cliches of the victory speech from our new state senator, Billy Lee.
Come on. Come on. Well, I just figured if you're going to start sleeping with a state senator, it ought to be in the new house.
Now, sleeping with you has already got me into trouble. I say,
what?
If our son is ever elected President of the United States, do you think it'll go down in history that he was conceived in a trailer?
Well, you be careful now. They're going to be wanting this mattress in a Smithsonian one day. Come on.